Hello and welcome to Karma's a Stitch. I'm Tonya, and this is a YouTube channel where I talk about my knitting and crochet projects, other small little life things that we have going on. I do my channel, my episodes just a little bit different. I have something that's called a whip wall. I have a bunch of cubbies on a wall, and I have all my different whips in each of the cubbies. And then I have a dice app that has 2 dice on the screen. So when I tap the screen, it rolls both dice at the same time. The first one tells me which cubby I'm going to go to pull my next project. But the second dice tells me which project in that cubby to take out, because some of my cubbies have more than one project in them. So if you're new here, welcome, and I hope you enjoy. And if you're returning, thanks for listening to my spiel again. If you're looking to get in touch with me, all the ways you can do that are listed in the description box below. I do try to keep all my Ravelry information up to date with projects that I'm finishing and the yarn that I use or the needle size that I've used for a project. I do try to keep those pretty current. And those will also be listed in the description box below. So it has been 2 weeks since I uploaded episode 83, this being episode 84. So the last project that I had rolled was the Orange Theory scarf. It was a crochet project. I had used some purple wool by Pleasant Valley Fibers. And this was a wool that I got at a grand opening to a yarn shop that opened about 2 hours away from me. And I am pretty close to Boise, Idaho. This was 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. I used a size E or a 3.5 hook. And I also used Cascade Heritage Black. That is also, I want to say it's just superwash merino, but I don't see 75-25 as well. And I used the black. So that's the material that I used for this scarf. It has been finished. I have an FO. And I blocked it yesterday, and in blocking it, the only thing I have left to do is trim the fringe, and I'm brushing it in my lap right now so I can make it a little bit more presentable. I need to trim the fringe on the end of the scarf so that all of the edges are about the same. Are you ready to see it? Look at this. Look at these colors, you guys. So this is the width of the scarf, okay? And length, I don't know the length. This right here is folded in half, okay? So when you guys saw it last, I was here and I finished this all the way up. You guys, this color, I wish that the screen would really show, because it's stunning. So I'm going to take this Progress Keeper off because it's finished. I don't need that on there anymore. The only thing I have left to do, like I said, is to trim the fringe, which I will do probably not till winter, but I am so excited to wear this, and I'll stand up so you can see the full length of it. But I have kind of stepped away from shawls a little bit because I don't wear them, but long wraps or scarves, those are my thing. So let's see here. I don't know if this is even gonna work. Let's see here. So there you have it. I mean, it's doubled around my neck. It's pretty long. I'm pretty happy with it. But like I said, I do need to trim these edges so that they are nice and level, like the same length. But yes, look at this. I love it. I love it so much. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I'm just pleased with it all the way around, everything about it. The color, it was fun. It was something I was able to do at church on Sundays. It was a very wonderful project. So anyway, there you have it. I have my new winter scarf. So I'm going to fold this up. Now, because I finished this, and here comes a little bit of confession time. I finished this last week. I finished this last Thursday. Today is the 5th of September. But last week, Alex and I were going on a road trip together, and I didn't have time to record to tell you guys, to take the time to really explain the project. But I knew I needed to roll the dice so that I could have my next project to go on this road trip with me. So let me get that, so I recorded that. I recorded the dice roll, and I recorded sharing that project. I just didn't take the time to record this little bit where I'm talking about the Orange Theory scarf. So I'm going to insert that video with the dice roll and the explanation. Please forgive my appearance in that. It was the night before a big road trip. I was in for the night. So let's see what we got.
Okay, let's roll the dice. Don't have any other apps open. Open up the dice app. Roll it. 2, 1. Let's go see what we've got. Okay, so project Cubby 1 and 2. There's only one project in here. Let's go see what it is. Okay. 2, 1. Let's see what we got. It is the Audrey cowl, which was a pattern written by Erica at 3 Loves. This was done, something I'm doing in a cotton. It's 100% cotton. I have multiple colors in here. Because this is something I'm making for my mom. Now I have 2 of each color, so we'll see how much that gets me. I am not very far on this project. I think this was something, and I don't even honestly remember. I think this is something I cast on as 12 cast-ons of Christmas last year because I wanted it on the needles so I could get it done for my mom. So that's it. That's all I've got done so far. It is a provisional cast on because you just knit it in this great big giant tube like I did that Morrison scarf, and then you Kitchener the 2 ends together of that tube. So this is what I'll be working on for this next week. Kind of excited to get something done for my mom, and this will be a very basic, simple knit, but something I know she's going to truly appreciate. So there you have it. That's what we'll be doing this week. Woohoo! Oh, and now Cinder's gonna drink. It's a good time to go. All right, you guys, see you later.
So the Audrey cowl with my mom is what I rolled just before that road trip. Now, the road trip was fantastic. If you are new here, Alex is my 8-year-old, and she just has this personality that she's just very entertaining, as most 8-year-olds are. And we got to go for a drive to see my brother. He lives about 6 hours away. And we stayed in a hotel, and we got to swim in the pool and watch movies with my brother. And we just had a really wonderful weekend. This last weekend was a holiday weekend for us. If you're in the US, it was Labor Day for us this last week. And we were on our way back on Monday, which was Labor Day, a holiday, a national holiday. And Monday nights or Monday afternoons is when Alex goes back to her dad, because we do week on, week off, and Mondays are our switch day. And so I needed to have Alex back to her dad Monday night. And as we're driving down the highway, speed limit is 70. I was probably doing about a little more than 70. And we're going down the highway, middle of nowhere. I'll put the pictures in. And we hear this loud pop. And Alex looks at me and she's like, what was that? And I look at my dash and it says 0 in the tire pressure for my front passenger tire. So my tire had just popped. And so I got over to the side of the road, so grateful that I didn't lose control of the vehicle. It just popped and I just got over to the side. We didn't hit anybody. It was a pop tire, and it could have been so much worse. And I am grateful that that's all that it was. But because it was a holiday and we're in the middle of nowhere between 2 to 3 states, depending on how you look at it, because we were in Washington visiting my brother. We had driven through Washington and part of Oregon and back into Idaho, and we were somewhere in there. I haven't even looked at a map, to be perfectly honest. And trying to find, so I called my insurance company, grateful that I was in a place where I had not lost reception, because through the mountains, there are parts that you lose reception. They couldn't do anything for me. They couldn't get a hold of a tow company. I sat on hold for 20 minutes while the insurance agent tried to get a tow company for me. And I had Cinder. And so once we did get a hold of a tow company, having somebody that would allow my Rottweiler was going to be another issue. So we ended up sitting on the side of the highway in 90-degree weather, full tank of gas, with the air conditioner going. I did not turn the car off, and we just sat there and visited, and I was texting my brother and texting Alex's dad, and we ended up getting a tow after about 5 hours, and the gentleman took us into this little town, dropped the van or my car off at the tire company. We walked to a hotel, checked in, spent another night in a hotel, and made it home. There was minimal knitting done this past weekend. So from Friday when I was driving, Saturday, Sunday with my brother, Monday more driving and waiting, and then Tuesday finally driving home. Minimal knitting time. But the Audrey cowl, as you saw, I just didn't have much done last week. And I had 2 skeins of each color. They're 50-gram skeins. The wool is Mission Falls 1824 cotton. It's 50 grams per skein, 84 yards per. And having a mom who's allergic to wool, this is a great alternative. So I had 8 skeins, and I just had the first one in there. And like I said, you just go round and round and make a great big giant tube. I did it. We have another FO. So from, let's see here, this right here is where I was last week. You saw here down to right about here. I think that's where I did the Kitchener, right in here. You can see a little bit of a line here, which I think will go away when I block it. But this is the progress from here to here. And we went all the way around, great big circle. We went all the way around, all the colors, and we got it done. It's huge. But if you are, I'm going to take this progress keeper off, and I'll try this one on for you as well. My mom, I'm from Alaska. I was born and raised in Alaska, and my mom still lives up there, and she's got horses and goats and chickens and, you know, a couple dogs, and they all need stuff, even in the winter. So I've got something warm for my mom. It's gonna be nice and big. She can pull it up over her ears if she wants. I have it twisted right now. And she'll be able to zip her jacket up. She can fold it over so no wind is getting down on her neck. And she's gonna love it. My mom is gonna love it. My mom is very knit worthy. So here we go. There you have it. So mom's got a new Audrey cowl that she'll get to wear this winter. Okay, so we'll take this off. So I do have another FO. Now I have been keeping track of the yardage that I've crafted this year. So I have added the Orange Theory as well as this Audrey cowl to my spreadsheet that is keeping track of how many yards I craft this year. And I will include that at the end. But that's done. I've got 2 FOs this week. It feels amazing, but I need to roll the dice, and we're gonna see what we get this time for this week. With this Audrey cowl, I did use my Likey interchangeable set US 7s. Now I really do like the Likey feel with the wood. I don't use interchangeables very often, but these seem to work just fine. And when I was done doing the cylinder all the way down, the whole tube, and then I had to Kitchener the 2 ends together, this is what I had left. That's it. That's all the cotton I had left from this project. So I feel like that was a job well done. So let's roll the dice and see what we're going to work on this week. All right, let's roll the dice for this week. There's nothing else opened right now. So we'll open up the dice and we will roll it. We'll go to 6-1. Okay, so I have filled up the second cubby, which is where we pulled our Audrey cowl from last week. So we're going to go to cubby 6-1. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what's in here. All right, so cubby 6-1. Let's see, we've got a hair clip. That's always handy on a project bag. Ooh, you guys, we've got some brioche this week. This is I think it's called the bluegrass. Oh, yeah. It is a blanket with no ends. Because you don't have to do any ends because you make these tassels. Oh, look at that. So the whole blanket is brioche. I've got a progress keeper up here with where I'm starting at. This is marking the right side for me. I've got my stitch marker, or my stitch stoppers, my needle stoppers, my needle minders, whatever you'd like to call them, and my advent. Now, I don't know that this is actually an advent, but I do know that this is all from one dyer. I think these are scraps that I have from Inner Yarn Zen. Yep. She's local to me, Inner Yarn Zen. And so I'm pulling light and dark, and I'm putting one of each together, and I'm brioching it. I'm pretty excited about this. I did my first brioche, you guys, it's so squishy too. I did my first brioche project last year, and I had been really intimidated by it. And once I did it, I was pretty excited. So I am working on this bluegrass, and it is just going to be a throw blanket. Was it a bluegrass blanket? Or is it a wrap? I should go on Ravelry. Let's take a look. If I go on to Ravelry and we go to my projects, bluegrass. It's by Wool and Pine. I don't know if this is a blanket. Nope, it's a wrap. Oh, you guys, you should go on Ravelry and look at some of the project pictures for this project. You've just seen with the Orange Theory, I am so excited about the wraps right now. That's what I'm enjoying, making wraps. I love making shawls. I just don't wear them. So yes, I will be working on my bluegrass wrap this year, or this week. Now, since the last time we chatted, there was a Caston Party, and I ended up casting on 3 different projects, and 2 of them were tops, and I'll share those with you. I was going to cast on a mosaic crochet project, and that got completely railroaded by Caroline with Aria Bark Designs. And yeah, I'm just gonna blame her. That's all there is to it. She was casting on a Stephen West blanket, which does not at all sound appealing to me, not in the slightest little bit, until she showed the picture. And once she showed the picture, you guys, this is a Stephen West project, but it's all one color. And it's just the stitch definition that makes this blanket, in my opinion. It's all one color. You're not distracted by any loud color pops or stripes or variegation or speckles. It was all a solid color. Absolutely beautiful. It's the Desland blanket by Stephen West. It does have 3 different size options, but it calls for DK weight. And I wanted to do the large one, which required 10 skeins of DK weight. Now, I went to my stash. I don't know that I have 2 skeins of DK weight in my stash. I am pretty much a fingering weight kind of gal. And if I do something in DK weight, I have gone and specifically purchased the material for that project. And I didn't have 10 skeins of all one color, but I do have dye pans and I do have dye. And I went out there and I had 8 skeins of DK weight yarn. Not enough, but I had 24 skeins of fingering weight. So I took a single, but they weren't all the same base. I had a single ply and I had a fingering weight with stellina. So I took 10 skeins of each and I dyed them all the same color. And I cast on a Stephen West Desland blanket. So that will be the first one I share with you. I dyed 20 skeins of yarn the night before the cast on party. So here is my Desland blanket so far, and it is the large size. It's pretty big. I'm trying to get it untangled so I can show you the whole thing. So there is the width of it, but look at that color, you guys. And like I said, there is stellina in it in one skein, and then I'm holding it with a single ply. So there's one cast on that I did. I am doing this, I think I'm doing it on the size that the pattern calls for, which is a US 7. The pattern does have a picture, and it's a solid color, and it really is just the stitches that make this blanket. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm very excited about this one. But I had no business casting on a Stephen West blanket. Thank you so much, my dear, dear friend Caroline. Horrible, horrible influence, and I need to learn to say no to peer pressure, but I'm okay if I don't learn that lesson anytime soon. I'm gonna go grab those other 2 tops that I cast on, and then we can talk about those. Okay, so the top that I cast on first thing in the morning for the Caston Party is the Rocket Tee by Tanis Fiber Arts. So here is, I'm sure lots of you guys are familiar with this pattern, but it is Rocket Tee. It's 3 words. Here's a picture of it. And during my last episode, I talked about what material I was going to be using, because I had these different colors of the Queensland Collection Dungaree Rainbow Tweed. It's made with recycled jeans. And I've made 2 other tops with this material, and it is just such a lovely fabric. It is lightweight, it's airy, but it's got all the coverage that you need. So with this Rocket Tee, I chose to use the purple one that I've got. This is as far as I got that day of the Caston Party. So here's the top neck, the back neckline, and then the top of the shoulders here. But I just love this material. It's got all the tweedy bits in it, all the different colors. So that one I did cast on with this purple with the Queensland. Let's see, what color is that? Just in case anybody's super interested. It's 76% recycled cotton, 20% or 76% recycled cotton, 12% cotton, 7% recycled polyester, and 5% palmide. And the color for this one is amethyst. So my amethyst Rocket Tee got cast on the morning of the Caston Party. Now, the second tee that I did was in this same material, but I had a different colorway. And I did pretty good with that cast on as far as progress. It is called the Bowman. Let's see if there's a picture. It's silly to have a 12-page pattern, but no picture in it, huh? Come on. Oh, there we go. Sorry, you'll have to excuse the print job. Got some lines through it. But I love the scoop low, deep V-neck. I love the ribbing on the sleeves. I know it'll be easy to adjust the length of it. Is there another picture in here? It's by Lucien Tricote. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that. Oh yeah, very excited about this one. progress that I've made on this one. It is a top down. So here's the top edge and around. So there you have it. That's my progress so far on this top. Now the colorway for this one is Granite. I've got 3 skeins of each of these colors, and I won't need any more than that for these projects. Now, if you guys, just a few minutes ago, I was talking about the 20 skeins of yarn that I dyed for that Stephen West blanket, and that it was in DK, and I only had 8 skeins of DK that I could dye. But there is another cast on that I really want to do, and I wish I would have printed this pattern out in color, because it won't, these pictures that I'm going to show you are in black and white and they won't do it justice, but you'll get the gist of it. It's called the Venkis by the Barocco design team. And it's another one that is a solid color, that it's just the stitch definition. Can you see that? Let's see here. Maybe this will be better. Can you see all those different fun stitches? So I do think I'm going to cast this on. I'm going to dye some yarn probably this week or next and do this. I just need to decide what color I want. But I think I do need that top, and I think it'll be amazing if I have the material here. I might as well just pull it together, right? So that is what I ended up casting on for the Caston Party. Our next Caston Party won't be until probably February. I would imagine the end of January, maybe February. We'll have to see how it goes. January is my birthday month, so maybe we'll do something for that. We'll just have to wait and see. I think that's it. I think that's all I've got. I'm sorry about the nasally voice. I think going through the mountains and sitting in saunas at the pool at the hotel with Alex, my sinuses are just acting up, which is to be expected, I think, with all the what do you call it? Elevation changes that I made going through the mountain passes the last week. So I'm sorry about that. And I'm sorry about the watery eyes, but my sinuses are trying to figure out what's happening. So until next week, I will see you guys then. And I hope you are working on stuff that puts a great big smile on your face. And I will see you guys in a week. Bye. All right, so a little update on mileage. So we've recently finished our Salty Days sweater. We recently finished the Orange Theory. That was the scarf. Let's see, what else was recent? The Maddie sweater are finished. That's the one I need to adjust the length on. And let's see, what else is the Audrey cowl. So those are recent FOs, and this is my current yardage crafted so far this year. I didn't really set a goal, but we'll see what we can do by the end of the year.